Okay, so they have given in detail. So let us study in detail. See, for 1 or 2 programs, it will take some much time to understand. So from the remaining programs, we need not go in detail of execution steps. Only thing is we will go in detail of that particular program. That's all. But in these, in 1 or 2 programs, execution steps plus about the program, we have to go in detail. Okay. Coming to the compilation. Okay, so after the compilation of Java source code, each individual class is put into its own output file. The meaning of that is, whenever we write the classes in Java, what happens is, after execution of that particular program, by that class name, one file will be created. Here, example is the class name, right? One file will be created, and that file name will be example.class. Like this, one file will be created. This file we will not write. Compiler will create for us. Okay, that is for execution purpose. Okay, so only they're telling individual class, each individual class is put into its own output file. Own output file in the sense, this is the output file. So example, class example, that is one particular class, okay, which we have written. So that will be converted to example dot class. Okay, this is one file. Example dot Java is the source code. Okay, so Java source code means example dot Java. So here I will mention. So Java source code is sorry, example dot Java. This is the Java source code. Okay, fine. Coming to the dot class file is same file, whatever the file name is present, by that file name only dot class file will be created. So we can say class put into its own output file. That output file is nothing but dot class file. So here totally we have 2 files here. Dot Java file, that is the source file, dot class file, which is used for further execution. Okay, the name of this output file will be after the class which uses dot class extension. So as I said, name will be whatever the class name we have given here. Class name we have used as example. So dot class file name will be also starts from example. Class name, whatever the class name we are using, by that class name only it starts, and it uses dot class as an extension. Okay, class is the extension of the file. So dot is used to separate between file name and extension. Okay, so class word is used for an extension purpose. Okay, next, interpreter. So you should specify the name of the class you want interpreter to execute. So after the compilation, next step is to execute, right? Execute is nothing but interpretation. So we are supplying this file for interpreter. Okay. In that case, we need not write like example.java or example.class, nothing. Just you have to mention that class name. Okay, class name here is example. Java is the interpreter. So it will automatically search for a file by that name that has dot class extension. Okay, so wherever example dot class file is created, it will search for that file, and if it is present, it is executed. Okay, if it is not present, it will display an error. Okay, a closer look at the first program. So only for the first program we have in detail explanation. Okay, later on same concepts is applied for all the programs. Okay. The program begins with the line. This is a simple Java program. Okay, so this line we can consider it as a comment. I think you people know how to write a comment. In case of C and C++ also we are using. So to write a comment, there are 2 methods. Okay, well, first method is like at the starting of the line only, if I write 2 slash symbols, so that particular line is treated as a comment. That is, if you put 2 slash symbols at this step at this place, this entire line is treated as a comment. This is one way of writing the comment. Another way is, so slash star. Okay, and wherever you want to stop that comment, you can put star slash. That means this much it is treated as a comment. This is nothing but a comment. So comments are the lines in a program which are ignored by the compiler. Okay, so this is a comment. So comments are ignored by the compiler. That means it is not considered for execution. But why it is required means it is like a documentation. So in problem solving techniques, we have 7 stages. And whenever we write a software, first we have to go through problem solving techniques. There 7 stages are there. Definition, analysis, designing, coding, testing, debugging, maintenance. Last one is documentation, program documentation. Program documentation means writing a comments, or we have to write something about the program where other users can understand. So that is nothing but a comment, but it is not considered for execution. Okay, the comment used above is a multi-line comment style. Okay, multi-line comment may be 1 line, 2 lines, or several lines. Next line of the code in the example in the program is class example. You just observe this line, class example. Here class is a keyword. So keyword concept we have come from C and C++. Keywords are the words which are already present in the programming language, which should be written in lowercase letters, that is small letters, and we cannot change the meaning of those keywords. Okay, so whatever the concept, whatever the functionality given for the keyword class in C++, same functionality is applied for Java also. Okay, so class is a keyword. Then example is an identifier. See, identifier concept, again it has come from the C and C++. So identifier is a name given to class name, variable name, functions name, structure, arrays name, and so on. So there are many names in the programming, those are called as programming elements. For all those we will take it as an identifier. So in order to know how to write an identifier, so we have 4 rules. 4 rules are: blank spaces are not allowed in identifiers. Okay, special symbols are not allowed except underscore, keywords are not allowed, and starting character should not be digit. So we have to remember these 4 rules. Okay, so to write an identifier, so example is an identifier, class is a keyword. Then so opening brace, so this is the starting of the class. Just like we start the main function, this is the starting of the class. We'll call it as curly braces, the way we use in C and C++. The next line of the program is single line comment. See, here in this program we have used single line comment also. Your program begins with the call to main. So this is the single line comment. See, when writing single line comment, we need not end single line comment. It will automatically end at the end of the line. It is treated as the end of the comment. Only for multi-line comment we have to use */ if you want to end the comment. Okay. Next, this is second type of comment supported in Java. A single line comment begins with 2 / symbols and ends at the end of the line. Okay. The next line of code is public static void main string args. So this is very important. All Java applications begins execution by calling main. This is just like C and C++. See, in Java we have 3 types: standard edition, enterprise edition, mobile edition. In standard edition, what we can think is wherever we get the console output, so there program execution begins with the main function. Okay, so we have 2 types of output: console output, window output. Okay, so I think some minutes back I have shown black screen, that is command prompt, that is console. Okay, that is called as console output. So if we are executing the program where we get the console output, so then we should have the main function. Console output in the sense, it is not like color. Here the color doesn't matter, because when we go to Eclipse editor and NetBeans, color of the console will be white. Okay, the thing is we have to remember that is console output. So public is a keyword and an access specifier. In C++, we have 3 keywords: public, private, and protected. In classes and objects chapter of C++, we have 3 keywords: public, private, and protected. It is an access specifier plus it is a keyword. 2 things. It is an access specifier plus it is a keyword. So when a class member is preceded by a public, then that member may be accessed outside the class in which it is defined. See, about this I will explain a little bit. Okay, because if we understand the first program in depth, then we need not worry about the other programs trying to understand about the word public, about word static, void, and main. Okay, so let us go in detail of this. Okay. Okay, see, we will just consider like a class, let me say A, okay, and this is I am talking with respect to C++. We can consider with respect to Java also, but if we try to just understand with respect to C++. See, when I write like int A, so this is one variable, then I will go for the public access specifier. For variable A, I will consider it as like a private access specifier. Okay, and for in public section, what I do, I just write the function called as display. Okay. Consider one function display. Just say roughly I am writing. You need not worry about the syntax error. Print some word welcome. Okay, just you can consider like pseudocode. Will not worry about much about the grammar. Okay, this is a class. Now we just see how we have done. So void main. Now if suppose I want to access these 2 things, that is A is called as the data. Okay, and display is called as the function. So when we write the programs, these two things we have to remember: data and function. Function is nothing but a code. So data and code, two things are there. If suppose if I want to access a plus display function in main function, first thing whether it is possible or not. For with respect to variable a, it is not possible. If I want to access variable a in main function, it is not possible because it is in the private section. The things which are in private section cannot be accessed outside the class. Okay, the things which are in public section can be accessed outside the class. Okay, so if suppose if I want to access, first thing I have to create the object. I will create an object like m is an object here, a is the class name, m is an object. Hope you people remember the concept of C++ class and object, so I'm moving further. Okay, yeah, so a is the class name, m is an object name. Okay, now if I tell if I write the sentence m dot a is equals to 10, okay, then m dot display, okay, m dot display. In this case, what happens, for this particular line we get error, and for this particular line no error. Why? Because variable a is declared in private section of the class, function is written in public section of the class. So whenever we write anything, data or functions in the public section, that can be accessed outside the class. Outside the class means, so this main function is outside the class, so in the main function we can access. So when we write m dot display, this statement is correct. When I write m dot a is equals to 10, this statement is wrong because a variable a is present in private section. Similarly, if you write like say one function, say void print. If I say one function void print, if I write in private section of the class, so some code I will write for this. Okay, let me consider some code is present. If I write in the main program like m dot print, so here 100% we get a error. So this line is error because print function is present in private section, so we cannot access outside the class, that is in the main function, whereas the display function is present in public section, we can access. So whenever we write things in private section that cannot be accessed outside the class, that is in the main function. If write functions and the data within the public section, we can access outside the class. So similarly, now if you go for the Java concept here, what they have done, so class. Okay, before that, C program, C++ programs, and in Java, programs written in J2SC, that is core Java, what we call it. Programs written in Java which contains main function, okay, which contains main function. Okay, about static. Okay, about static I will tell you, because we have still we have that word in the line public static void main. I'm speaking about public, so I will finish that one first. We will go for static word. Okay. Okay. When we write the programs, C++ programs and Java programs where main function is there, so main functions are called by OS. First thing what we have to understand, that is operating system. In case of C and C++, main functions are called by OS. Okay. Sorry, in C++. Okay. In Java, what happens? This main function will be called by interpreter. Main function will be called by interpreter, not directly by OS. It will be called by interpreter. In case of C, C++, directly it will be called by operating system. In case of Java, it will be called by interpreter. If we consider this interpreter as one file, that is JVM. JVM is a software, right? Java Virtual Machine, Java interpreter. If interpreter wants to call the main function, okay, can it call directly? Here the question, because main function will be present inside the class. See, whenever we write things inside the class, what happens, like it is like providing security. Encapsulation is nothing but providing security for the code. Okay, class concept is nothing but providing security. Now, when I write main function inside the class, can interpreter call? Because we have provided security for main function. Interpreter cannot call because I have written inside the class. Okay. If interpreter wants to call the main function, I have to make this main function as public. Then it can call. If we don't give any access specifier, by default it is treated as private in case of C++. In case of Java, it is treated as no access specifier. For no access specifier, there are some different properties I will tell you. In Java, we have 4 access specifiers. No access specifier, private, public, protected. Okay. In C++, 3, private, public, protected. Okay. Now, if I don't write anything here, or if I make it as a private, okay, interpreter cannot call this main function. If interpreter calls the main function, then we will get the output. That means programs are executed. If interpreter doesn't call the main function, it will not work. That means we will not get the output. So if interpreter wants to call this main function, which is present inside the class, which has a security, then we have to take it as public main. So only public keyword is used for the main function in case of Java. Whereas in case of C and C++, we are not writing main function inside the class. So we need not write public here. If we are writing main function inside the class, there also we should write public main. But we are not writing main function inside the class because the C++ concept is different here. In C++, main function will be written outside the class, and things what is required to be written inside the class, we write inside the class. But in Java, very first sentence they are telling all the code must reside inside the class only, because execution process itself is like that. After executing, first it will create the dot class file. After dot class file is created, that dot class file will be executed. So every code should be written inside the class. Even main function also it is written inside the class. If main function is written inside the class, then it is just like providing security for the main function. If you are providing security for the main function, interpreter cannot call. So if I want to call this main function, then I will make this main function as public. That means I am writing in a public section of the class. Okay. So this much we came to know about the public access specifier. Okay. See, that means the public members is accessed by the code outside the class, whereas private members cannot be accessed outside the class. See here, in case of Java, outside the class means interpreter we can consider which is outside the class. Our file name, that is example.java, that is present inside the class, that is main function. Interpreter we can consider outside the class. So if main function, if it is to be called by interpreter which is outside the class, it should be made as public. Okay. Since main is called by an interpreter when the program is being executed, so it is declared as public. So this much we came to know why we have to declare main function as public in case of Java programs. So in interview, I think this is the 100% question. They will just tell why we have to write this much line, public static void main. So we have to explain each one, why we have to write public, why we have to write static, why we have to write void and main. Okay. Now coming to the static keyword, we will see what is static keyword. The keyword static allows main function to be called without having to create an instance of object of a class. The meaning of this is okay. So here the meaning of instance is object. So when we execute the programs where we use classes and objects concept, see generally what happens is like here only we will see. See, if I want to access the data, okay, if I want to access the data A, or if I want to access the functions print and display, what I'm doing here, see, first I should create an object. So here M is an object. So here I will mention, okay, M is an object. A is the class name, M is the object name, okay. Then what I should do, if I want to access the data or a function which is present inside the class, I have to follow this method, object dot data or object dot function. Whether it is a data or an object, we have to use the dot operator. Okay. So the syntax says object dot, okay, dot operator, okay, dot. Then either you can give the data or you can say object dot function. Whether you access the function or a data, you have to mention dot in between, object dot function, object dot data. But if I declare it as a static, okay, for example, for a display function, if I declare it as static void display, so what happens is without requirement of instance means object, without the requirement of object only we can call, that is I can call the function like this. If I don't create the object also I can call the same sentence they are telling here. You just look at this sentence. The keyword static allows main function to be called without having to create an instance. See, because when the functions are present inside the class, we have to create an object, then we have to call the function, right? But main function is present inside the class. Interpreter should create object first, then it should call the main function. That is the method. But here, because main is considered as static, we are using the keyword static. If interpreter doesn't create an object also, it is fine. It can call the main function. So just like I showed with respect to C++ here. See. So display function is present inside the class. So actual method is by using the object, I should call m.display. This is the actual method. But I have made it as static. If the data or function, if we make it as static, then we can call directly without creating an object. That means without the requirement of object, we can call the function. That is the meaning of static. So in Java also, if we consider public, static, okay, static main. So this interpreter, what it will do, it will not create object of this class. Object of this class means here class name, if we consider like example, it will not create the object of this class. Directly it will call the main function. Okay, because according to class and objects, what is the concept? If the functions are written inside the class, we have to create an object first, then we have to call the function. When we make it as static, no need to create an object. Directly we can call. So interpreter will call the main function without creating an object because it is static. So if they ask the question like why it is declared as static, interpreter calls the main function without creating an instance of that class. Instance is nothing but the object of that class. Okay. Okay. Yes, the use of keyword static is necessary because main is called by an interpreter without any objects are made. That means if interpreter doesn't create an object also, it can call the main function. Then, so inside main function, what are the things present? We will see. Okay. So in main function, there is only one parameter named args. Okay. So when we write, see, when we write within parenthesis, you just look at this public static void main. After the word main, I have put the bracket. So this is called as parenthesis. Okay, opening parenthesis, and at the end, closing parenthesis. So technical terms are parenthesis. So when we put parenthesis, within the parenthesis, what we write, it is called as argument. Okay. So here string is a class name. Okay, args is an argument name. So within parenthesis, whatever the variables we write, those variables are called as parameters or arguments. Okay, so in case of main function, here they're telling in main there is only one parameter. That parameter name is args, which is an array of instances of class string. Here instances means objects. Objects of type string store the characteristics. In this case, args receives any command line arguments present when the program is executed. See, about command line arguments, I will tell you in strings chapter of Java. So there we have how to use command line arguments in main function. That means how this args argument will make use of the command line arguments. So I will tell you in strings chapter. Okay. Next thing, the last character is opening brace, indicates the start of the main body. Main is the only starting point. So in case of Java, I said like two types of output are there: console output and window output. In case of console output, main function is the starting point of execution. In window output, there is different because in enterprise edition we write the programs for the website development. There, in some types of programs, we don't require main function. So without the main function also programs will execute. There it will display as the window output, not the console output. Okay. Next. So complex program may have many classes, only one of which will need to have main method to begin the execution of a program. So in one program, if we write like 5 to 6 classes, okay, in one of the class we have to write the main function, and that is not the first class. In between also we can write, but that will be the starting point of execution. By that class only other classes will be executed. Okay. See here they have given one note here. Why we are speaking about main function. Java applets won't use main at all. There are some types of programs, those are called applet programming. Their main function is not necessary. Okay. So before I go to the second program, let me finish this. 3 things are there. We will finish it off. Okay. And then we will move to the second program. The next line of the code is system.out.print. This is simple Java program. See, whenever we want to display the message on the console, so we have to put within the function print function or println function within double quotation marks. This is a simple program. So regarding system out and print, so I will tell you a little bit later. Before that, if you have any doubts, you can ask. See, in programming languages, like first thing what we learn is how to print a message. Next, we will go for logic and all, okay, calculations and all. Here, to print a message, we use this function system.out.println. So let me explain this function, that line, okay. Okay. See, in C language, one thing I want to tell you, you don't get confusion here because we need to require to understand like this. So if you go in C language, okay, in C, we use the function called as printf. Okay, printf is the function to display messages on the screen, or if you want to display the values on the screen. Okay, this is the function we are using. And when we go for C++, see, remember in C language, we use only function. Okay, there is no concept of class, there is no concept of object. Okay, when we go for C++, we know that we use the statement called as COUT, so which is referred as console output. Okay, it is referred as console output. Okay, this is the statement. Actually, console output is a statement and printf is a function. Okay, we can call print statement also. The use of COUT statement is like this, that is COUT. We have to use this operator. Okay, and within double quotes, if I write welcome, we are it will display. Okay, here one extra step we are doing. So in case of C language, I am saying printf, it is a function. In C++, this cout we can call it as a function. In other words, or other way of telling is like cout is also called as object. Remember, cout is also called as object. Okay, and this is an operator. So two things it is required to display the values as well as messages on the screen. One is object name, that is cout. Another one is operator. Okay, this is called as insertion operator or in output operator, insertion operator or output operator in C++. When we go for Java, so what happens in Java? One thing what I have said is whatever code we are writing, we have to write inside the class only. Okay, whatever code you are writing, you have to write inside the class. For that purpose, what they are using is to print a message on the screen or to print the values. Three things they are using. First thing is system, okay, which is a class name. Next is OUT, which is an object name. Next is print or system dot out dot println. Okay, print or println. In detail of print and println, I will tell tomorrow. But just we will discuss what is system out and print. Okay. See, in case of Java, what we have to consider is the word system is a class name. Just to remember this much, the word system is a class name which is already present in Java language. System class we are not creating. System class is already present in Java language. Next, OUT is an object. This is also present in Java language. We should know the terms. That's all. System is a class name. OUT is an object name. Then, if you use print or println, so two functions are there. These two are functions. So first thing what you have to use is class name. First step is class name. Next is object name. Next is function, print or println. So system dot out dot print. System is a class name, out is an object name, print is a function. So within parenthesis of print function or println function, so we can use within parenthesis, we can use the double quotation marks. If you use in double quotation marks, those things are treated as strings. Okay, so this is a string, and here also println function also is treated as a string. Okay, so these two messages will be displayed either using print or println. It is displayed on the screen. So system is a class name, OUT is an object name, print is a function name. System is a class name, OUT is an object name, println is the function name. In second program, so I will tell you the difference between print function and println function. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, you see here, println or print. Method is a built-in method. Built-in means which is already present, like a library. Okay, library method which displays the string which is passed to it. Here system is a predefined class. OUT is an output stream that is connected to the console. So system is a class, OUT is an output stream. It is also referred as object. Println is a method. So these three things we have to remember. System is a class name, OUT is an object name, println is the method name. When we go for classes and objects chapter, there we will study in detail of writing a class, writing an object and writing a method. Okay, fine. So